What's up, YouTube? You've all heard this sound before. That's right, that's the world famous HKS super sequential blow-off valve. Now, I'm putting one of these in my Supercharged IS300. I've owned several forced induction cars before this, so I've had my taste of blow-off valve noises. And I can say that I'm looking forward to running this one. I've run the Greddy Type S, I've run the Turbo XS RFL, or really fucking loud, and I've run a Forge splitter, which is a dual vent atmosphere and recirculation style, and a variety of Bosch OEM ones from my VW days. And I can't forget about my Teal Q 50mm blow-off valve from when the IS300 was turbo. We're going to be taking a closer look at the SSQV. This is the legendary blow-off valve from Paul Walker's Skylines and all the movies making this noise to that quintessential blow-off valve sound. I'm going to show you the construction of this valve, why it may or may not be a good fit for your build. I'm going to show you some ways to customize the sound, and just take a closer look at the component. So this is my HKS blow-off valve. It's pretty beat up. It's one of the original ones. Now, one way to tell if yours is a HKS genuine valve, aside from good quality, is that there will not be a bleeder screw or adjustment screw in the back. Now, this differs from valves like the RFL, the Type S, and the Teal that I'd mentioned before, in the sense that, and you can see I've removed the segment of charge pipe it's installed on, in the sense that this valve actually does not have a piston that contacts the mating surface here. In fact, air will travel up into, charged pressurized air will travel up into the body of this valve, and it will be vented out of this diaphragm here. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. I've gone ahead and removed, there's several screws that hold this housing together that I've gone ahead and removed, and this just comes off like this. There is a sealing grommet here where this lip edge makes contact with this moving diaphragm. So what happens is when there is a vacuum from the intake manifold or wherever your boost reference source is, it's going to vent all of that charged air out to the atmosphere. The charged air is going to be built up inside this body, and when the vacuum signals it, the valve is actually going to push back, and that charged air will be able to escape out from the gap that's created between this seal here and the main piston inside. So it's very different from the other valves in the sense that the charged air will enter up inside the body of this valve. And this also may lend to why the HKS has such a unique sound to it. But I've also heard that this valve is not very reliable after certain levels of high boost. So if you're running a built engine that's running a lot of boost, you can imagine that this crevice that's generated by this action here is not enough to let the air escape. It's not going to be as efficient as something like a 50mm Teal blow-off valve. In addition, I could very easily see compressed air sneaking past some of these edges if it's of a high enough pressure. And so very often you'll find guys running these on the higher horsepower Supras, swapping them for a more reliable Teal unit. That's not going to be the case with my IS300. I'm going to be driving the car on the street with a stock GE motor running low levels of boost relatively. So under half a bar or 7 psi of pressure. So I've always wanted this valve, and I'm happy that it actually came as part of the Supercharger kit. And I did run it for a few days, but I was very disappointed by the weak noise. And after doing some research, it appears that you can actually customize the noise that your HKS blow-off valve makes. And you do this by changing the insert that sits on this housing here. So what I mean by that is normally we have, this is called the standard tri-fin insert. HKS sells a replacement, rather they sell 2 replacements. Basically there's these 2 tabs here that allow this plastic piece to sit in the metal housing, such that the escaping air is actually going to be forced out of this tri-fin adapter. And what that's going to do is create a higher frequency noise to the blow-off valve. Now this is the stock insert. This is the quintessential super sequential whistle noise that you hear. Now I ran it at, I think I was in just testing low boost, maybe less than 4 pounds or so. And it sounded pretty lame, not gonna lie. I was not impressed, and I'm thinking that it has to do with the level of boost that I'm running. Install your special option fin like I did. What's up guys, it's the Wrench Monkey here. We're in my IS300 running on the stock ECU, and actually I just need to charge up the battery, so we're gonna go for a couple rounds around the block. Just figured you guys could get a kick out of all the cool noises we've been making now, so stay tuned. Well, that was quite fun, but I actually think that the option fin that I installed, the little purple insert on the SSQV blow-off valve, it still sounds kind of lame. So I actually just removed it from my charge pipe while my bumper's off, and we're gonna go take another ride to see what it sounds like without any sort of fin. Already, it's a deeper sound. Way cooler. This is the spot I go to test out all my new mods. I've been doing this since I was 16. This is a perfect strip of access road that has no turnoffs. Woo! I was 3 pounds, but let out a little bit. Still on the stock ECU. Oh, that sounds way cool. That was only 2 pounds. Highly recommend the Powerdyne upgrade from 928 Motorsports. Is running really smooth now. Well guys, I'm pretty sure I just wasted 25 bucks on that dumb purple insert, but to each their own. If you want to have that high-pitched squeak noise, then leave those inserts in your SSQV, but if not, you prefer the sound of a more traditional whoosh blowout valve, I would just take the insert out. I'm gonna leave the insert out on mine personally. So thanks for watching, guys. I would appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your favorite blow-off valve is in the comments below. When was the earliest time you knew that you wanted to have an SSQV? Because for me it was about, I don't know, 16 years ago, 17 years ago that I knew I wanted my car to sound like this. No, just a lot of hot sauce, please.